The Dawn of Empire, from Nomad to King, c. 700 to 550 BCE. Imagine a world ruled by Medes and Babylonians, where the small kingdom of Persia was merely a vassal state, a footnote in the history of greater powers. Then one man, born into this minor lineage, dared to dream of a different destiny. His name was Cyrus, and his ambition would shatter the old world order. The story of the Persian Empire begins not in a flourishing capital, but on the vast, rugged Iranian plateau. The Persians, or Parsa, were one of several groups of Indo-European peoples who migrated south from Central Asia around the 10th century BCE. They eventually settled in the southwestern region, which they named Parsa, or modern Fars, giving the entire empire its name, Persia. Their early center of power was Anshan. The dynasty that would eventually rule this vast empire traced its lineage back to a semi-legendary figure named Achaemenid, Haxamanish, hence the name Achaemenid. The dominance of the Medes. Before the Persians, their northern kinsmen, the Medes, or Mada, established the first powerful Iranian kingdom. By the 7th century BCE, the Medes, based in Ecbatana, modern Hamadan, were a major player, having helped the Babylonians defeat their great enemy, the Assyrians. The early Persian kings were vassals of the Median Empire. The Persians and Medes, however, were united by language, culture, and religion, an early form of Zoroastrianism, making them natural allies, a factor that would prove crucial in the transition of power. The rise of Cyrus II, the Great. The figure who changed the course of history was Cyrus II, c. 600 to 530 BCE. He inherited the small kingdom of Anshan around 559 BCE from his father, Cambyses I. Cyrus was shrewd, charismatic, and deeply strategic, combining military genius with radical political foresight. The overthrow of the Medes, c. 550 BCE. Cyrus's first target was his overlord, the Median king Astyages. The traditional account, from Herodotus, suggests Astyages feared a prophecy about his grandson, Cyrus, and treated him poorly. Cyrus led the Persians in a revolt. Critically, the Median army, reportedly disaffected with Astyages, defected to Cyrus's side. Cyrus's treatment of the defeated king was revolutionary. He did not execute Astyages or sack the capital, Ecbatana. Instead, he treated Astyages honorably and adopted the Median political and administrative framework, including their titles, court customs, and bureaucracy. This act turned a military conquest into a political merger, integrating the Medes into the heart of the new empire and ensuring stability. With the conquest of Media, Cyrus inherited a vast kingdom that stretched into Anatolia and the northern reaches of the plateau. The Achaemenid Empire was officially born. From Anatolia to Babylon. Cyrus was not content to merely inherit. He immediately began a series of brilliantly executed campaigns that showcased the strength of the combined Medo-Persian army. The conquest of Media immediately brought Cyrus into conflict with the powerful and fabulously wealthy kingdom of Lydia in western Anatolia, ruled by King Croesus. According to legend, Croesus consulted the oracle, which told him if he attacked the Persians, a great empire would be destroyed. Croesus, mistakenly believing it meant Persia, launched an attack. Cyrus met the Lydian army and, in a crucial moment, deployed his camels against Croesus's famed Lydian cavalry. The horses panicked at the smell of the camels, giving Cyrus the advantage. He besieged and captured the Lydian capital, Sardis. The victory brought immense gold wealth and control over the prosperous Greek city-states of Ionia on the Aegean coast, establishing Persia's foothold in the Mediterranean world. The largest remaining power in the region was the Neo-Babylonian Empire, which controlled Mesopotamia and Syria. The Babylonian king Nabonidus had alienated the powerful priesthood of the chief Babylonian god, Marduk, due to his focus on the god Sin. This internal division made Babylon vulnerable. Cyrus marketed himself as a liberator. His general, Gobryas, marched on the capital, Babylon, and captured it almost without a fight. This clay document is one of the most significant archaeological finds of the era. It records Cyrus's actions. He restored the city's temples, reinstated the traditional cult of Marduk, and, most famously, declared an end to the Babylonian captivity of various displaced peoples. The most enduring act of this conquest was Cyrus's decree allowing the Jewish exiles to return to Jerusalem and rebuild their destroyed temple. In Jewish tradition, Cyrus is revered as a just ruler and a divinely appointed figure who fulfilled the prophecies of Isaiah. This policy established the Achaemenid precedent of respecting and subsidizing local religions and customs. By the time of his death around 530 BCE, Cyrus the Great ruled an empire that stretched from the Aegean Sea to Central Asia. He died fighting a campaign in the eastern reaches against the Mesogetai, a Scythian tribe. Cyrus was revered by both his subjects and his enemies, even the Greeks. His legacy was built on magnanimity and wisdom rather than sheer terror. He was not just a great conqueror, but the first great global statesman, whose humane approach to governance set the moral standard for subsequent Achaemenid rulers. He laid the blueprint for a cosmopolitan empire that ruled not by forced uniformity, but by organized diversity.